What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Pour. I'm Jordan.
I'm Brian.
And we want to make an announcement about the Seymour Main Street Bourbon Pour blind bourbon tasting event. It's a fundraiser for Seymour Main Street, an organization that Brian and I serve on as the board of directors. In fact, that's how you and I met, Brian.
Right.
And then we decided to start this YouTube channel, and we couldn't think. Brian thought of this event, and we couldn't think of a better name to name our YouTube channel. So I was like,
we'll just steal that.
Steal that. And that's actually how Brian and I ended up meeting. I joined Seymour Main Street's promotions committee, heard that there was a bourbon event going on. I was like, sign me up, I'll help out with that. And Brian, of course, had thought of it, and it's been a pretty good success for our organization.
We've talked about this over the years, but this was originally a really small event that we were going to do, and then it turned into a really big event, and it's been very successful. Jordan and I put countless hours. We probably don't want to admit to how many hours that we discuss.
Pretty bad.
do stuff for this event, but it's kind of a passion of ours. Yeah. And both are. The Main Street is both near and dear to our hearts, and we want our Main Street to thrive. We want Seymour, our town, to have a good Main Street, because that's just a good Main Street leads to a good community. Yeah. So we want to do all we can, and we've created events, and this event I thought of, and it's kind of really blown up into something bigger than I anticipated.
Yeah. And this year's event is at 6 p.m. April 5th. That's a Saturday, April 5th, at the Knights of Columbus in downtown Seymour. Address for that is 118 East 2nd Street. You can get tickets at indianaontap.com. And we will actually have the link for those tickets in the description of this video, or you can check out seymourmainstreet.org or Seymour Main Street's Facebook page. They're always going to have that event information out there, and I think there's going to be a Facebook event, so if you just search that, that ought to pop up. Tickets are super affordable. $55 brings you a great value. There are 5 pours.
5 pours.
Yeah. Get to keep the glass.
Right. You get a little glass that you get. We're doing a mini Glen this year. We try to do a different glass every year, something different, so you can have that's not the same as repeating what we had the year before. So we got that. We're doing Puckett's wood fire pizza, which is delicious. Really glad to have them come on and be our food sponsor and provide the food for the event. My goal in this is I want every person to walk away and feel like, man, I got a lot for my money, and I didn't get cheated. Yeah, and I think every year we've done that. I think we've given the samples that we're giving are
these are usually we try to shoot for aim between $50 and $70 for a bottle, and sample those out. That's kind of
and try to get something maybe that people haven't had, or something that just everybody wants. We want this is something that, hey, everybody's gonna drink this and they'll be like, hey, I just had this.
And there's not like necessarily a theme of the blind, only that representation of different categories is kind of what we've done. And we've got our 5 bottles already lined up. Another thing that you get with an admission into the event is access to our silent auction. And let me tell you, our silent auction typically has bottles of rare allocated bourbons. It's got books, it's got tour experiences, it's got kind of bourbon things. This year we're going to expand that. We're going to have some stuff from the hometown, gift cards and that sort of thing. But let me tell you, it's going to be exciting for this silent auction, because these aren't the only 2 bottles we have, but these are the coolest ones so far, and we're always adding. This is an Elmer T. Lee, donated by Vic's Liquor Store, one of the sponsors of our event.
And then next up is probably the best bottle we're going to get our hands on. If we get something better than this, we're going to have some really good offers. But this is the George T. Stagg from the Antique Collection. This is a sought after bottle that everybody wants. And we're going to have it there. Yeah. You're going to have your opportunity to buy that.
Yeah. So. Latest one, this is the 2024 release, donated by Vic's Liquor Store. And then Brian, this is super cool. So I actually was on vacation and noticed that this bottle was empty. This is my latest bottle kill. And this is the New Riff single barrel with the Seymour Main Street Bourbon Pour logo on it. And so it's time for me to get a new pick. Are we going to do a pick for the?
I think we got something lined up for the people. So we've got we teamed up with Starlight this year, so we're doing a double Frenched oak, and was so good when we tasted it. It's not what we went to go get, but that's a story for another day. But we ended up settling on that, and that's what we came home. We hadn't come home with it yet, but that's what we ordered, and it is delicious. The story behind it with the staves from the different 5 regions. There's so much. It's just the way that they put it together. It's just like they sold us on it. And it was a good story.
As soon as we get those bottles, we will do a review of it. Hopefully we can get it out there in time for the event, so you'll know. But yes, it's a double French oak. There's 5 regions in France where they harvest oak from. Most of the time, barrels will be made from one of those regions. Starlight had all 5 of those regions brought together, and they built the staves to make one barrel out of those 5 regions. And it was in an area of France too, Brian, one of the areas where there was shrapnel from a World War II battle that was lodged in the trees while they were cutting them down. So it's a cool story. It's 115 proof, I think.
Right, 115.
It's cask strength. Limited number of bottles, maximum maybe like 120.
120,
is where we're thinking we're going to end up with. And then it's going to be $75. You can reserve your bottle in the link in the description. Make sure you mark that along with your ticket so that it gets accounted for. And then you can just pay for the bottle at the event and pick it up at the
It's $75 donation.
Yep.
So you're donating to Main Street. So we're not licensed to sell liquor, so we're doing that for donation.
Yeah, we're gonna let Vic's Liquor Store stick to that. Speaking of Vic's, they are a sponsor of the event, but we can't do this event without our sponsors, and we have a lot of generous people in our community. So
we got Rob and Teresa Swartz Contracting, Roger Wessel, New Legacy
Wealth Management. There's NITEC, Technological Services out of Brownstown. There's Gurker Construction and Polishcrete.
Beatty Insurance.
So we've got a lot of generous people.
And we already mentioned Puckett's with Fire Pizza.
Puckett's with Fire Pizza.
So we've already plugged him a little bit. But but he came on as well. So
So and all of those sponsors have supported us in the previous year. This is our 3rd annual event, so we'd be really excited if you joined us. Once again, this is not our event. We just organize it for Seymour Main Street. I know we have the same name. The channel is the name as the event. We do not make any money off of it. This is 100% a fundraiser for the Seymour Main Street organization. Wonderful organization that we're super passionate about. In fact, you're looking at the only 2 board members of the year from our annual awards. So we're super dedicated. Sorry, geez, I'm probably gonna cut that out. A really important organization to us, and this is not something that we make money off of. We just do this because
it's fun, and we want to raise money, have a nice event in our downtown that people can come to and be proud of.
Oh, one thing we forgot too, Stuff and Whiskey from YouTube is going to be joining us. We always try to have a special guest of honor. We've previously had SLB. Last year we had Bourbon Kingdom. And so Stuff and Whiskey out of Nashville, Tennessee is going to be joining us. They're going to be doing a brief talk during the program and tasting. And then if you actually can't make it to the event, they're doing a meet and greet at Vic's Liquor Store at 3 p.m. before the event. So come hang out with us there. We're both going to be there for that. Is that it, Brian?
We're excited about that. I'm looking forward to meeting those 2.
Aaron and Josh.
And they have a rating system that I kind of wanted to incorporate into our event with them being here. So if you're watching us, I'm sure you probably heard of them. They're a little bit bigger than us. Been around for a while, but they're just really you can tell from their show that they're genuine people.
Awesome content.
I think they're going to fit in really well with our town.
And so with that, be looking for a video. We're going to do another video with all of the silent auction items as it gets closer. And then we're also going to try to fit in that tasting of the barrel pick so that you'll have that. And we might throw a little reminder in. But all right, get your tickets in the event in the video description on this video. But we're going to close this one the same way that we always do. And that is when you're with your family and your friends or your friends at Seymour Main Street, always share your whiskey.